Hi, how are you? This is Dawlat Sulam. I'm Egyptian American and I'm a New Yorker. I was born in New York Presbyterian Hospital. I'm 41 years old and I voted for Zahran Mamdani yesterday. Prior to voting for him, um, the city of New York have changed tremendously in ways we no longer identify the city. Like the city was always vibe was always positive. People would respect each other. People would care about each other. But for the previous years, we haven't seen this, and a lot of division has been happening. So I was canvassing. So why I'm doing this video, pretty much, I was canvassing for Zahra Mamdani, and one of the things that I have noticed when I speak to people one to one, they would say, I would say, "Oh, who you gonna vote for, and why would you vote for them?" So most of the people I spoke with, yes, they were voting for Mamdani, and some were voting for Como, and some would say, "Oh, we would never elect a Muslim mayor for our city." And this really offended me. It offended me in different perspective and different layers. As a Muslim myself, we have been having challenges as our identity been torn apart since September 11. We wake up with the anxious, like we always have to defend ourselves. Some of my friends and my family wear headscarves. They always have to go through Islamophobia every time, like someone is passing by, they would say something to them just because they look Muslim. But where as myself, I don't look Muslim because I don't have the headscarf. But when people were telling me that New York is not ready for a Muslim mayor, this has really offended me, because it offended me because in the morning we wake up and we go to Dunkin' Donut, and the people who are doing the coffee are Muslim. You go to the Yemeni bodega and you get your the egg, bacon, egg, and cheese, and who's doing it is a Muslim. You go to the streets, the traffic stops, the traffic police who give you the ticket. Yes, it's not a pleasure experience. Most of them are Muslim. You go to the doctor, you will see a Muslim doctor. You go to school, you will see a teacher. You go anywhere, you will see. You will go to get your food from Astoria in the Egyptian markets. Some of them are Muslim and some of them are not. So being identified just by our religion is so sickening and is so disgusting, because we are part of this city, and we are part of this city that our indifferences and our imperfections is what is our strengths come from as a New Yorker. So when people say, "Oh, we're not ready for a Muslim," it reminds me in 2008 when I was canvassing for Obama first election, and I would interview people, and they would say, "Oh, America's not ready for a black president." And this really annoyed me in many different levels. Why would you say that? America is ready for whoever is ready for America. New York is ready for whoever is ready to fight for New Yorkers. We, as New Yorkers, we no longer identify as New Yorkers. Look at our street, mental health, affordability, prices of goods. Everything gets so out of control. Like, I'm a registered Democrat. I've been always a moderate Democrat. I'm not a registered social Democrat. I'm not registered Republican. But yeah, the city's like, now we're not just dealing with capitalism. I understand people want to make profit. I understand that we are dealing with ultra capitalism, where people are being savage to make money. The big guys, the few guys, are taking out all the resources from the poor people. Like, look, like, I live in Midtown New York. When I see Amazon driver going crazy to drop their delivery, when I see like normal Uber drive or DoorDash, or these are people are fighting for like minimum wages. These are people fighting to live a normal life. These are people fighting to get an apartment they can afford. I have two masters, and yeah, I cannot afford to live where I'm living. But because my parents had this apartment. It's very out of control. New York is no longer the New York we know, and it's not like, oh, it's like, so some of my close friends, they're saying, "Oh, we cannot vote for him because Muslim." I never enforce my Islam on you. I never give you a copy of the Quran to convince you to be a Muslim. Zahra Mamdani, when his volunteer were handling flyers, they were not handling copies of the Quran. Yesterday in his speech, he didn't start say in the name of God, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. He start with saying hello, fellow New Yorkers. We are not like, oh, we're Muslim, so you have to become a Muslim. We don't enforce our religion on you, and we're not expecting you to become Muslim. You can become whatever you want. You can, like, if Zahra Mamdani was someone else, a Chinese person who was appealing to me, I would have voted for him too. It's not about his religion. It's about what his plan to the city, and how he is convening his plan, and how he's reaching out. And one of the things that I really liked about Zahra Mamdani, he's going to areas where they were never heard before, like areas where people were struggling to be heard, areas that were forgotten in the map of elections, and yet he was going to them. Zahra Mamdani is the only politician, or like one of the few, who stood and said what's happening is a genocide. Full stop. He didn't kiss ass anyone just to gain election. He didn't ask for money. He didn't get $22 million wasted just to fight him, to fight his opponent. No, he went and spoke to the people directly and addressed them directly and listened to them. The only thing that like his opponent didn't do, they didn't listen to the people. They listened to only the few people who had the money to sponsor their election, but they didn't listen to the majority of people who've been struggling in everyday life in New York to survive and to meet their needs. They didn't listen. So when people say, "Oh, we cannot vote for a Muslim," no, you can vote for a Muslim, you can vote for a Jewish, you can vote for a Christian, you can vote for a Catholic, you can vote for a Jehovah Witness, you can vote for atheist, Buddha, you can vote for anyone who you think will make our city better, who you think will get us the next day safer, like, and our need met. Like sometimes you sleep in New York now, you sleep thinking how much you're gonna pay for your bills. Oh, you sleep thinking when is the next check will come. You don't have even the luxury to take your kids somewhere 2 days, to spend like 2 days. You always have to save to go to Disneyland. You always have to save to take them back home, like to see your family. It's always about saving and working many hours and meeting the expectation and minimum expectation. And this should not be New York. And when they say socialist government fail, look at Europe. Europe are run by socialist government, and they're not failing their people. They're not failing the health system. They're not failing the education system. They're not failing as a community. We need to unite to make our city better. We need to stop labeling each other. Oh, you're Jewish, you're a Muslim, you're Orthodox, you're this, you're that, you're a homosexual, you're a gay, no, we need to stop. Because as long as we continue to divide ourselves like in many different ways, we're not going to unite, and we're not going to help our city to get better. So I believe the best thing we can take moving forward and to learn from what's happened yesterday in our election is believing that we want our city to be better. And people say, oh, New York is going to be run by a socialist. People, wake up. The socialism that we're speaking now is the democracy that we demanded years ago but never happened. The gap between capitalism and ultra capitalism is so big, as much as the gap between socialism and democracy is so wide. So why we always keep saying, oh, this is a socialist person? No, socialist person or socialism is to meet our minimum needs, to make us more safer, more like willing to live a better life for ourselves and for our kids, and not to think, oh, how much I have. Oh, I don't have money to feed my kids. Look at what's happening now. The government shut down, and Medicaid and Medicare, EBT. Millions of Americans are depending on these programs, and we still having the fight. Oh, who's gonna run the city? Is he's Muslim enough? No, we need to understand that we need to unite to get our city in a better position. I hate people when they come visit me from different countries. As Egyptian American, I have a lot of people who come and say, "Oh, New York become filthy. New York becomes so expensive. I would never imagine myself living in New York." New York was never like that. During the 80s and the 90s, New York was very welcoming and very clean, and we were even human to one another. But now what we do, we fight, we argue. Like, if you're not with me, you're against me. No, if you're not with me, I listen to you. I respect your opinion, but I may differ. That's fine. So stop labeling us. Stop making hijabi women feel insecure just passing or working or applying for jobs. Stop someone like me who have two masters, and but my name is very Arabic. Every time I apply for a job, the first thing they would ask me, even though it's very clear that I say I'm a U.S. citizen, "Oh, are you a U.S. citizen or not?" I was born here. I'm not like, I didn't gain like I didn't acquire a green card, then I got my citizenship. No, I was born here, but I'm still asked if I'm a U.S. citizen or not, because my name is Dawlat Sulam. But what I'm glad now that a lot of people didn't know how to pronounce Zuhra Mamdani name, but now they will deal with Zuhra Mamdani